Hello, welcome to the channel QPK News. Please subscribe to the channel to follow the latest news of the day. Even though a dramatic facial expression may give the impression that the facial features are moving quickly, this is not always the case. Liu Meihan, who is 31 years old, has caused a great deal of embarrassment for a number of Keyun groups. People still look up to the idols they have selected for themselves, despite the existence of tools such as character filters, even if he is being kind to himself and giving himself a little bit of a break. And even though his performance is only up to the passing line, he can still brag about how amazing he is deep down inside. After all, he is being quite indulgent with himself in this regard. On the other hand, the most important factors in determining acting ability are environmental. Regardless of whether or not an actor produces a decent performance, the eyes of the audience are highly perceptive and will pick up on subtleties, even if an actor has a significant net worth and a significant level of popularity. Neither of these things will be related to the acting skills that they possess. This is due to the ethereal nature of acting abilities. She has 8 years of experience working in variety shows, which is comparable to the career that Yang Ying had as the famous beauty in 85 Flowers. She has lately colored her hair, which has given her a look that is reminiscent of the mixed-race appearance she sported when she originally made her debut. Despite this, she is still regarded as the princess of the squad. When it comes to her appearance, she is without a doubt exceptional, yet, when it comes to her acting ability, the comments from the crowd are extremely harsh. Since she has less experience, it would be more fitting for her to play the kind of Bai Guang who has only been on stage for a few minutes rather than the role of the leading lady. This is due to the fact that she is less experienced. To make a setting that is breathtaking, it is enough to just do this. This is something that I believe to be true due to the fact that it is more simpler to make mistakes during a performance when there is a bigger demand placed on the utilization of facial expressions. It would appear that a significant number of people intentionally move their facial features in order to give the appearance that they are nimble. Because of this, the explanation for this is that they are attempting to comprehend the notion of agility. Taking a look back in military division can be just as hard on your emotions as Zhang Zishi can be jaw-droppingly beautiful. Amidst the drama that she fabricated for herself, on the other hand, her eyes are red and puffy, and the arches of her eyebrows are raised. The face traits have been overdone to an extreme, and her demeanor is not that of a woman, but rather that of an idiot. The facial characteristics have been enhanced to an extreme. It is evident that the older citizens who have been a part of the circle for a considerable amount of time are unable to express themselves with the same degree of freedom as they did in the past due to the effects of aging on their facial characteristics. We are really fortunate that the performance of the true power group as well as the new drama Qing Qing Daily starring Liu Meihan, who is 31 years old, has been uploaded on the internet. She emphasized the contrast between being intelligent and acting in an erratic manner while maintaining the same dramatic tone as before. It is not necessary for both the eyes and the mouth to be active at the same time. Having tiny eyes is advantageous for noticing details, and having a firm understanding of the characters is crucial. The Flying Five Senses faction is referred to as the Keyun School, which is an insulting name, as a result of the outcome idea. Some of the performers' features have facial characteristics that are utterly out of control, much like Keyun's visage after he loses his sanity. However, there is one thing that really must be brought to everyone's attention. And that is the rationale for why Keyun is insane. It was because she already struggled with mental illness at the time, which rendered her unable to control the thoughts that were running through her head. In spite of this, the so-called Keyun group behaves in the same way as the vast majority of people, and the persons shown in the play are sweet young women rather than mentally disturbed individuals. On the other side, they give off the impression of being oblivious and astonished, spending the most of the time with their mouth and eyes wide open. Throughout the course of The Wind Rises close, Naz's lips morphed into the shape of an O, and it appeared as though her eyes were going to pop out of their sockets. Lin Yun's performance in the university drama featured him showing a gloomy and weird countenance, with his eyebrows creased into various characters. This was all part of the character's performance. Even though his eyes continued to roll, the fact that he was shaking his head added salt to injury. It was a dreadful situation. In point of fact, There are circumstances in which both the eyes and the mouth do not need to be active at the same moment in order to properly communicate. This was nearly invariably the manner in which Liu Meihan conducted herself whenever she was terrified or displaying dread. She had a strong grasp on her lower lip, and the only movement that could be seen in her eyes was a little splitting open. When she talked about the time she was held captive in a small, dark room for a lengthy amount of time, she felt a feeling of unfairness because of the situation. As the grin developed, both the lips and the eyes contracted into a line, and instead of staring into three whites, the mouth formed a line. In addition, the eyes contracted into a line, because the narrative contains one of the rare expressions that incorporate both the eyes and the lips at the same time. It is not an exaggeration to say that it involves both. It should not come as a surprise that the pain caused her facial features to become uncontrolled because, as the events of the story take place in a context in which she was injured and then took medicine for it, which made the pain even worse, the events of the story take place in a context in which she then took medicine for it, which made the pain even worse. In order to give the idea that a character's expression is untouched by their present mental state, it is vital to have an understanding of that character's state of mind. This will help you generate the impression that the character's expression is unaffected by their current mental state. Liu Meihan has a naturally endearing personality, and the fact that she, Yan Lily, and Songwoo all have reverse development gives them the appearance of being much younger than they actually are. It seems to reason that Liu Meihan possesses the greatest potential to excel at this very moment. She has spent years perfecting her acting talents. And as a result, she not only can't be separated from her amazing appearance, but she also boasts acting skills that are pretty good. Her acting skills have been honed over the course of years. She is not the kind of person that is bright and attractive, but she has a really natural appearance and a little body. Her physical appearance has not changed in the least, however, because she was staying with the main character Tian Shiwei, it gave the appearance that she was a great deal younger than she actually was. Tian Shiwei, who is substantially taller than her sister, may create the idea that she is the older sister. However, this is not the case. In truth, Liu Meihan is her older sister. And Tian Shiwei, who was born in 1991, is her younger sister. Tian Shiwei is her older sister. The age difference between them is 6 years. From Yan Lily's well-known play Ba La La Little Demon Fairy to Songwoo's more recent masterpiece Qing Qing Daily, both of these plays have been written by other Chinese authors. Babyface will, without a question, miss out on a great deal of prospects. Nevertheless, at the same time, it offers advantages that cannot be duplicated by anyone else and hence cannot be replaced. The accomplishments of models ranging from Zhao Liang to Tan Songyun show that there is no one definition of beauty as long as one possesses the requisite strength. Those who are blessed with a lot of luck have a better chance of attaining their goals, even if they get a late start. Then, let's get ecstatic about the fact that Liu Meihan will finally have the opportunity to communicate with her favored character.